Guan Guan Cha is a green tea, or is it? Asterisk. I'll get to that. We get this from Shiqian in Guizhou, and comes to us from tea farmer and tea master Xiang Ge, who produces a lot of our Guizhou green teas and some of our red teas. Xiang Ge usually focuses on using the local Shiqian variety of tea, which is a landrace called Tái Chá, which is distinct and notable for a number of reasons, not the least of which is that the leaves of these plants tend to turn purple at the end of spring, beginning of summer. Most of Xiang Ge's green teas are early spring green teas made from the leaves when they're still green. However, Guan Guan Cha is a traditional style of tea that is produced by the Miao people of the Shiqian region, which is an ethnic minority group. And they like to take the later spring harvest and cook it at a lower temperature, similar to pu'er, and then sun dry it, very similar to Sheng Pu'er. Then they take this late spring harvested tea that does have this purple cast to it, and when it's all finished, they stuff it into ceramic jars that they will hang to age in their kitchens for sometimes 10, 15, 20 years, and then they prepare the tea by boiling it. This one, however, has not been aged. I love this tea because it's robust, it's a late spring harvest, but it is full flavored, it has a lot of nice fragrance, and some of these berry-like notes that you tend to get with purple teas. I actually like to make this tea with fairly warm water, actually a lot warmer than I'll use for its sister teas, also made from Tái Chá. That low temperature cooking that it goes through and then the sun drying makes it a lot like Sheng Pu'er in a way, although the Tái Chá plants are small leaf varietal plants as opposed to big leaf varietal plants. You do get some of that character where you can give it a little bit of a hotter steep and you do want to bring some more of those more bitter flavors out of it. Compared with Sheng Pu'er, I think Guan Guan Cha is actually a lot sweeter when you steep it as a green tea. I'll use pretty hot water. I'd say that, close to boiling in the 207 to 212 degree region, sometimes with a full boil. And I'll give it a quick rinse, usually a pretty robust quick rinse, and just get those leaves to open up. And then I kind of let the fragrance guide me. Sometimes I will use cooler water if I want to bring out maybe some more of those berry notes. But I do also like to steep this tea, sometimes with a pretty robust pour with pretty hot water. And I just do hot, fast steeps on this tea. As the leaves open up in the second steeping or even into the third or fourth steeping, you still have these leaves expanding and opening. When they're at their peak, fully expanded, I like to use either a little bit cooler water or a much gentler pouring technique. I would say this is a very juicy tea. It has a very juicy character. And the profile of this tea from one steeping to the next tends to be that it starts off a little bit soft and then it kind of has crescendos up into this very robust, full-flavored character, which that's when I like to cool the water a little bit because it can get bitter, but if you use cooler water and a gentle pour, you do get this really juicy, fruity, berry character right from that middle. And then as it tapers down, I'll bring my water temperature slowly back up, maybe use a little bit more of a robust steeping, and you get more of those green notes and less of those purple berry notes towards the end. I love this tea, not just because it's a fantastic tea, but because it's one of these genre-bending teas. It's a green tea that is really intended to be turned into a Hei Cha. We're drinking it green, and I think everyone should try this because it's so unique, and it represents this very niche tradition that is occurring with tea in a very unknown part of China. Even to the Chinese, this is a very obscure style of tea, and I think it's just really wonderful to be able to share this with the world.